Right now, I'm going to introduce Matt Jones. He is our faculty instructional technologist. He works in my department. He is nearing completion of his doctorate in learning technologies, meaning just that minor thing called the dissertation that you need to write. No big deal. Just write it right out. Probably 2 days, tops.
Yeah. A lot of coffee in just one night, I got it.
And Matt, yeah, I know, right? Sucker. Anyway, so Matt is really, really strong in his instructional technology background. He's also a very creative individual. So I would encourage you to explore your creative ideas with him about teaching and instruction, and he is happy to help you in a variety of different ways. And he's going to show you some stuff about Canvas right now that he thinks will be useful. And the important thing there is, I know some of you don't have access to Canvas yet. Ideally, you all would have Canvas access, and ideally we would have laptops for all of you right now sitting in front of you so you could follow along. This is just going to be kind of an overview, what you can do in Canvas. If you need instruction, if you need help, please feel free to ask. We will help you. Matt can help you. We've got some really great people in my department who can help you with Canvas at any time. We are ready to do that this early in the semester. We know this is a steep onboarding process, and we want to help. The other thing I would say is if you can get yourself to reframe your relationship with technology, I would highly recommend that you try a little something I like to call push buttons and see what happens. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to bring down the Canvas server unless you're really talented, in which case I applaud you. See what happens. There's a reason that a 2-year-old can figure out how to operate a computer faster than most adults. There's a fundamental difference between that 2-year-old and adults, and it's not innate technological ability because of their time of birth. It's a lack of fear. Adults have issues, right? We're all afraid of breaking things. 2-year-olds don't care about breaking things. They push buttons and they see what happens. My youngest son, we adopted from Haiti. He came home when he was 3 years old. He's still trying to figure out the English language, but that kid could operate an iPad without any instruction or help in a matter of days. Never seen an iPad before, barely seen a TV. You know, birth parents lived in a tent somewhere in Haiti. And he came home, we handed him an iPad, and I'm not kidding you, within a week, not only did he know how to use the iPad, he was actually going into videos and scrubbing through the video manually to find his favorite parts and watching them over and over again. Nobody taught him how to do this. It's a lack of fear, right? So if you can bring yourself to get over your fear about breaking things or doing it wrong and just try stuff out, if it helps you, there's another name for this. Scientific method, right? You make an observation, you form a hypothesis, you test the hypothesis, you see what happens, you do it again until you arrive at the conclusion that you need, right? So if it helps you, I would encourage you as esteemed faculty colleagues to use the scientific method in your exploration of technology, meaning push buttons and see what happens. It's okay. Matt? Hang on. It's pretending like you just want a swim race.
Excellent.
Matt's a swimmer
Yeah.
and a CrossFitter too, so
Yeah.
he's one of those.
Recent CrossFitter, yeah. Whoops me every day. All right, so, I like this swivel thing because before we had the swivel, I used to have to go to all Bill's meetings and just sit there with the iPad and move back and forward, to track his movement. It's a big pain. Anyway, so what I wanted to do today is go over a little bit about who I am so that you guys know a little bit more about me. And you guys know that at any point throughout the semester, as Bill mentioned, you can reach out to us for help with your academic technology or how you might want to integrate technology into your pedagogy. However you see it fitting, we're there to work with you, and we'll help you find ways to have it work. Another thing about it is that, so I'll give you a little bit about me, and then we also have a whole bunch of stuff on social media that we're getting started this semester, so I'll show you how to access us there. I'll go a little bit over basic Canvas course navigation, all right, just so that you understand how the layout works, how to go through Canvas. I will also talk about uploading files and, in specific, making distinctions between what you can see in Canvas and what your students can see. Because we all know that, you know, Bill's beach pictures we do not want in his course, right? He wants to keep those private, so yeah, exactly. And then we also have a series of communication tools. First up, I will show you how to upload your syllabus, which so that it's, your students can preview it and download it. All right, and then we will also have, I will show you how to send out announcements to your students. So think of these as like blasts out to your classroom. And then we will go over the Canvas inbox. And hopefully we can do all this in a very short time. I'm going to go pretty quickly. And then I'll give you a little bit of overview of the gradebook, creating assignment groups, assignments, and how the gradebook works as well. And you can also weight grades in it, all right, based on topic area or however you see fit. All right, so right up here, I'm the top bar, okay? My name is Matt Jones, and as Bill said, I'm a faculty in the Academic Technology Department. You can reach me at matt.jones@bakersfieldcollege.edu, and you can also reach me at 395-4332. My schedule works pretty much the same as you guys. You know, winters, some springs, and summers, I am not here. As far as Bill mentioned, I am currently pursuing my doctorate. And he mentioned I'm a swimmer, but just so that you guys have a little bit of tidbit information about me in swimming, is I've raced Michael Phelps on 3 separate occasions. In racing Michael Phelps, I always say that I had the best view in the arena of the bottom of his feet, and it was still quite a distance ahead of me, and then sometimes I'd swim and well, he's still going, so that's my background. And as far as following us, as you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We also have a blog that we're starting on WordPress, and we also have a YouTube channel. So we will be pushing all sorts of information out to you know, the members of these groups so that they can see different tip videos on how to use technology, different things that we have going on. We will link back to the website so you can register for different workshops we will be having. We'll be doing a whole bunch of stuff starting this semester with our social media use, as well as taking pictures and, you know, the frivolous stuff that we like to do also. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll get into Canvas. All right, so this is Canvas's new home default view. Okay? In order to get into Canvas, what you guys are going to do is you're going to go to bakersfieldcollege.edu, and you're going to go to your Inside BC. And then when you go to your courses, you can click on any fall course, and that will take you right into Canvas. Okay? It was giving me some problems between our 2 accounts, so I'm not going to go through that right now. But once you get into Canvas, this is essentially how it looks. Instead of having this module box up there at the start, you'll probably get a window that says something about, you know, your first time in Canvas or blah blah blah. Just click OK, accept the fact that you're the faculty in the course, and then you'll get this screen from the rest of the time. We're not going to go over modules today. However, throughout the year we will host different trainings about Canvas so you can get more accustomed to using modules. We will, and when we say we'll host trainings, you can also reach out to us if you need one-on-one, or if like maybe your whole department just wants training on something that's specific to your department on Canvas. You can come meet with us. We'll hold it in the faculty lab so you guys get to check it out. You know, you guys can come check it out. You can come meet with us. You can do one-on-ones. If you feel more comfortable in your own office, call us, and we'll come up to your office and work with you too. All right? So it's dependent on what you guys see you need. Okay. About navigating Canvas. Over here on the far left, you have this black bar. Okay, this black bar is what we call the global menu, meaning it is specific to you. So it is everything that's related to you. It's not really course specific. Okay, so this top one is actually my account. So if I click on account, I'm going to get a whole bunch of different settings under my account. Okay, so I can set up my profile. I can put in a biography about me, blah, blah, blah. I can change course settings. I can do notifications. We'll cover that in a second. We'll go over files. Okay. Then if you go below, you guys will not have this one. This is an admin thing. And don't worry, with my admin rights, I only go in and mess up your courses like, every Friday. So at least it's scheduled. You'll know that I'm going in there to tinker. This next one is called the dashboard. This dashboard shows you an iconic view of all of the courses that you are teaching. As you can see, most of them come with different colors that you can change. You can also put an image up there to represent your course. Okay? And then by clicking on any one of these, I would then dive into my Canvas course. This is a list view of your courses, of all your courses. So I can click on any of those links, and that'll take me right into my course as well. Okay? You also have a calendar. This is both personal, so you can set up stuff about your personal business or your personal stuff about teaching here on the calendar. Or you can also designate certain assignments or certain notifications or certain events to be specific to a course. So you'll see over here on the left, I have all these different color squares. Okay? Each one of those color squares will then appear next to, say I post an assignment on Thursday the 17th. It would then highlight that assignment with the color of the course that it corresponds to. Okay? So that's one tool. We're not going to go over that today. If you want more information about that, you can reach out to us. And then we also have the inbox here. Okay, the inbox is the way you can actually email your students back and forth, and it's duplicate. So whatever you send out here and whatever is responded here also comes in your Outlook. Okay? So it's in both places. But this is meant to be the one-stop shop for everything. Okay? And then there's also this really cool place called the Commons. And the Commons gives you access to the global network of Canvas users. So from the Commons, you are actually able to go in there and you can look for other things that people are doing. Some of the stuff that's created out there has actually been created with a Creative Commons license. So you can actually, if you have something from your course that you'd like to share with other people, you're able to do that through the Commons once you get the Creative Commons license. Or you can have access to those things that have already been approved and put up there. And that's global, all Canvas users worldwide. The other really cool feature about using the Commons is that with the Commons, when you get in there, you can actually, let's say you find a feature that's not available in Canvas. A popular example that I like to use is one called the word count. So when you're actually in there typing for when you're creating a document or in your text edit field, it won't tell you what number of words you have in that area. So you can go on the Commons and you can recommend an idea. I would like to see a word count tool put into the text edit tool in Canvas. Then the global network of Canvas users can go in there, vote on your idea, and if it gets a high enough vote percentage, then Instructure will tag that and actually work to implement it. So you have a lot of power through going through the Commons. Okay? I'm not going to show you how to do that today, but just so you know, it's there. What I would like to do is I would like to go back up to the account, and now I'm going to show you about files. So you go to your account, you go to the drop-down menu, and you go to Files, and then here you actually have a whole range of possibilities. What you're seeing currently on the screen is a list of all the file folders that I currently have in my account. Up at the top, right here where it says My Files, any folder or document that I put nested under the My Files folder is specific to me. So, if Bill has those beach pictures there, he wants to put them in My Files because he's the only one that has access to that. Okay? Now, below My Files, you're going to have a series of folders that are specific to your courses that you teach. Anything that is put into that Canvas course folder, your students are going to have access to, especially once the course is published. Right? So Bill does not want to have his beach pictures put in his course folder. Okay? And basically, creating folders and uploading documents is as simple as clicking on the overarching folder. Then I'm going to come over here and click Plus Folder. Then I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to call this Bill's Beach Pics. Okay? And then I'm going to click the check mark. And now it appears in there, and it also appears down at the bottom in the list view. Okay? Now, let's say I wanted to, for whatever reason, I wanted to move those pictures from the My Files folder and into a specific course folder. What I would do is I would make sure that I'm highlighted on the overarching umbrella folder that one is nested under. I would navigate to it. I would mouse over that folder and scroll all the way to the far right where you see this gearbox. Okay? I would then say Move, and then I could select which course I would like to move that entire folder into. So I'm going to move it to the Intro to Canvas course. I'm going to say copy to folder. So if I scroll down over to the Intro to Canvas course, you will now see the folder titled Bill's Beach Pics in that folder. So one concept is, and it makes a copy, so it keeps one in your main file, in your My Files, and then it makes a copy of it into your course folder, so you have it in both places. So one thing that you could do is you could build everything, keep it in the My Files, and then once you feel comfortable with what you have in there, you can move it into your course folder. Of course, it doesn't all have to be pre-planned. You can add stuff as you go through the semester. Okay? All right. So that is the basic files. Let's now dive into Canvas itself. So we went over the global folder or the global menu for a little bit here in the black bar. Okay? Once you get into a course, you now get this middle menu that shows everything, all menu options that are specific to your course. Okay? So you have plenty of opportunities. You can remove some of these menu options if you don't want your students to see them. If you have certain things you like to use, you can keep those there as well. You have that ability through your course settings. But first, what I'd like to do today is I'd like to go over the syllabus. So I'm going to go all the way down to the syllabus menu option and click on it. And what you're going to see is a page that comes similar to this. Now, when you first get into a course, you're not going to have all those dates and all those assignments put in. Those are things that we have added to this course over time. So you're just going to have kind of an empty page with a little note up top. Okay? Now, in order to upload a syllabus, what I need to do is I need to come over here and I need to click Edit. And that's going to bring up my edit page, where in that main window, this is the text edit field where I can type stuff, I can insert videos, I can embed videos, I can create links. And I don't only have to create links to things that are outside of Canvas, but you can create links to everything that you've uploaded into files or anywhere that you've put in your Canvas course. It's a really cool feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my mouse and cursor has clicked somewhere in that text edit field. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate over to this far right-hand menu, and you'll see that there's 3 tabs. You have Links, Files, and Images. For the purpose of today, I'm just going to go over Files. So on the Files, you will see a whole scrolling list of everything that you have put in Canvas so far. If you have nothing, you're not going to see anything except probably the folder titles for your My Files and then everything underneath. Okay? But what I can do is if I've uploaded something into those files already, I can click on that and it's going to create a link right in the text edit field for me. Okay? If I have not uploaded anything, I don't need to worry about that because I can come right down here to upload a new file, select Choose New File, and then I can actually navigate to the area on my computer where it is saved. So I'm going to come over here. I'm navigating to this syllabus. You'll have to excuse all the subfolders that I create. I like folders. So we're only like 8 layers deep in there. This is like Inception, you know, like just really go into it. I'm going to click Open. Okay? And it's now going to show that that file is what's been chosen right there. And I'm going to click Upload. Okay? Once it uploads, it's now going to create a link right there in that text edit field. If you can see the blue link, it's now present there. Now that I have that, I can actually scroll down to the bottom and say Update Syllabus. And once we'll give it a second, but you'll see the link now appears on the syllabus page. It takes a little bit, but what it ends up doing is it creates a preview and a downloadable link for your students. So you will end up see a page just popped up with a magnifying glass on it. So if your students come in and they click on that, they can actually see a preview of your syllabus without having to download it. So it's present for them just to read it while they're in the course. Okay? Now I'm going to minimize that. After a little bit, we have the page with the magnifying glass, but there's also going to be a square that pops up with an arrow that points upward and to the right. Once that square shows up, they can actually click it and download your syllabus onto their machine or wherever they choose to, a jump drive, whatever. Okay? So it's got really good functionality with the syllabus. Of course, that takes a little bit. If you wanted to, you could also, if you have a Word document of your current syllabus, you could also copy that entire thing and paste it into the text edit field here. The one warning is if you copy everything and put it in there, the formatting could be off. So if you have tabs set up a certain way, or you might find some odd spaces, you'll just have to go back through it and make sure you delete the spaces and tab it the way you want once it's in the text edit. But the content will be there. You just might have to formulate it a little differently. Okay? All right. Cancel out of that. For some reason, that's still not popping up, but I promise you it does show up after a little bit of time. Okay. The next thing I'd like to cover is just announcements. Now, announcements are like a blast out to your class. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new announcement by clicking the plus announcement. And I'm just going to say, hey, this is the welcome note. Now, whatever I can type in here, I can type whatever announcement, welcome to my class, this is blah, blah, blah. You can access the syllabus by going to the syllabus page and downloading it. From this link over, from this side menu, you can also navigate to that page and create a syllabus link, okay, just like we did earlier. And you can also decide on these bottom settings if you want to delay the posting, if you want the users to respond to like if you want to allow them to respond to your posts, right? You don't have to. You can also enable a podcast feed, and you can allow liking. So like you send out an announcement, you can allow your students to click the like button just like they would on Facebook, right? So it has a lot of nice little features to that. And then once you do that, you save the announcement, and it will send it out to your entire class. Okay?
Question on sending it out. Does it send it to their emails or to their Canvas inbox?
Sends it out to their Canvas inbox. Yep. And the other thing, and it should come in their email because their account is associated with their email, correct?
They have the ability to set their communication preferences up. It'll go to their Canvas inbox, and they should receive a notification. They can also elect to receive that via email, and I think they can also set it up to go to them as a text,
yep,
or at least a notification as a text.
And what Bill's talking about there is if you come, and we're not going to go over this, but if you want specific training on this, reach out to us. Is through your account, you can come over here to notifications. And what you're doing here is you are setting up whether you want to receive activity that occurs within your course right away. You can see it as a daily summary, or you can see it as a weekly summary, or you cannot receive anything at all. So maybe your students upload an assignment, or they have some sort of interactivity with your course. You can receive that interactivity right away. It can say, so-and-so is currently on your course, and they did this. Okay, you'll get a nice little notification in your email inbox, too. But the difference is you have your notifications that you have to set up, but your students have their own as well. So typically what we encourage is that you go over that with your students when you start using Canvas so that they're aware of the different things, because you could send something out, and if they don't have it set until it's a weekly summary and you send it out on Monday, they may not get it till the end of the week. Okay? So just something to be aware of. All right. Another nice function I'd like to go over is the gradebook. This is a pretty powerful tool within Canvas, and it has a lot of different options. Stuff in the gradebook only shows up on these tabs if you have it published in your course. If you unpublish it, it's not going to show up there in the gradebook. Okay? Another nice thing about the gradebook is that you can create all these different assignments, and you can, of course, weight your grades. But before you do any of that, the gradebook is like a display where you can then go in and input the score totals based on what you're giving your students. Okay? In order to do any of that, you have to go into the assignments group, or the assignments menu. So what you will see here is in this course we have uploaded a whole bunch of assignments into one bucket. So you'll see all these assignments are currently sitting in the imported assignments group. Okay? In order to weight your grades, you need to create several different buckets that you can then input your assignments into so that you can weight each bucket at a different percentage. Okay, so you could have 20%, 30%, and then 50% depending on whatever your assignments are. You could have readings, assignments, and worksheets, or whatever it is you decide to do. In order to create an assignment group, you simply go to the top right and click plus group, and then you can title it whatever you want. I'm going to title this readings, and click save. Okay, I'm going to minimize this view, and now you see a new bucket that I created called readings. Okay, now this is just a bucket. It's not an assignment in and of itself. So what I need to do is I need to go to the plus bar, click plus, and now I can create all these new things. Okay, today we're going to create an assignment, or at least show you what an assignment creation looks like. But you can also create discussions. You can create quizzes from this. You can also do you can link to an external tool like Dropbox or something like that, or you can also do things as not graded. Okay? So I'm going to create a new assignment, and I'm going to call this Reading 1. You can set the due date, so I'm going to make it due the 17th, and it's worth 20 points. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and just save and publish right out the gate, and that's now what that looks like. So I now have Reading 1 assignment posted underneath the Reading bucket. Okay? If I wanted to, I could then come back up here to the gearbox, and this is where I can assign group weights. So if I click Assign Group Weights, I'm going to say Weight Final Grade based on assignment group, and then based on the 3 different assignment group buckets that I have in my assignment list, I can weight them a different percentage. So for example, I'm going to weight assignments at 20%. I'm going to do 30 for imported assignments and 50 for readings, and I'm going to say Save. Okay, so now you will see the breakdown. Yeah?
Can you add more things to break that weight schedule up?
You can. Yep. You can keep adding. You can keep adding assignments into that bucket. Basically, it's however you flow through your course through the semester. Yeah. OEI typically wants you, though, to put it up there so that your students have a good idea of what they're having, but it's up to you to set it up that way if you want to do that. Yeah. So now you'll see over here on the top of the bucket, it will show the percentage that each assignment group is weighted. So you have 20% for assignments, 30% here for imported, and 50% for total readings. Okay? So now if I move back over here to the grades, and I want to scroll. Oh, there it is. You'll see that the new assignment that I just put in is now listed at the back of that grade book. Okay, but the reason it's there is because it is published. If it was unpublished, I could come back to the assignment menu, and in order to tell that it's published, you see this little green cloud with the up arrow right there? That indicates it is published. If I did not want it published, I would click that. It would unpublish, give me a gray cloud with an axe through it, and then I could go back to the gradebook and it would no longer be there. Yes?
What is the purpose of publishing and unpublishing?
Whether you want your students to see it or not. Okay. Yep. So, what was that?
Even if you unpublish, that data is retained.
Well, typically, if you unpublish it and your students have already filled out, it won't let you. Like if you've handed the assignment out and your students have completed it, you can't unpublish it once there's actually been activity within that assignment. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions about assignments? Okay. So now if I come back to grades, and I want to scroll all the way over, that Reading 1 assignment is no longer present in that top bar in those top boxes. Okay, so you do have to publish it in order for your students to see it. Okay? When you are grading, just so that you're aware of this other feature, is if you are grading an assignment, and you know sometimes if you leave the assignment in its default state and you're in there grading it, your students are going to receive notifications and know that you're in there grading. And that is the default state of Canvas. If you do not want that to happen, once you create an assignment, you can come up here to this top caret, select the drop down, and then from there you can say Mute Assignment. Once you mute the assignment, none of the students are going to see it, so you keep it muted till you grade all of the students, and then once you're finished grading, click Unmute Assignment, and then they will see it and get the notifications. If you have a problem with them receiving notifications, even when it's muted, let us know, and we will help you work that out, okay? Because it might be a problem in there, okay? So that's the basics for Canvas. We will be hosting a series of trainings throughout the semester, throughout the year. You don't have to wait for those trainings. You can, of course, reach out to us to get one-on-one or groups or however you guys see fit. But yeah, so that's Canvas, at least introductory level.